Yeah, it really was a spectacular race there. And man, that finish too, you could tell when they're coming through 3 and 4, they're all 3 wide. There's no help. It's like, oh boy, we're going to have something special here.
Yeah.
Just those first couple of seconds. And for a guy like Daniel Suarez, I mean, obviously Blaney's a defending champion. Kyle Busch, one of the best racers ever. If anyone really needed that win, it was Daniel Suarez. There hasn't been anything put out from Trackhouse that has said, we're worried about this guy or whatever. But you just look at the writing on the wall. Chastain's ripped off a couple of wins, made a championship 4. You've got Zane Smith in Cup this year, one of the prospects in the pipeline. Shane Van Gisbergen is running Xfinity full-time.
Top 3 last week for SVG, too.
SVG.
That is true. Yeah, so Suarez, you never were quite sure. He goes out and gets that win. I want to hear from you guys of what this could mean for Daniel Suarez's future, and then I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate after that.
Well, we even saw Daniel on Dale Jr. Download this week, and Daniel said, he was feeling the pressure. The team was feeling the pressure, especially being in the garage stall next to one of Ross Chastain, that 4 wins over the next-gen era, been super consistent at tracks like Las Vegas, that we're heading to this weekend. So the pressure was on. There was a crew chief change made over the offseason, and I think vibes are high now overall. We kind of had the debate heading into the season, Elliot, with Full Tank Phil. What is this Trackhouse team now? Are they diversified, like you said, or are they discombobulated, like Phil was more claiming? So I think we see Daniel Suarez locked into Trackhouse. It's just a matter, is it going to be this 99 car? Is it going to be the top car that he has now? Because like you said, SVG's there and Zane Smith as well. Tino, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there. And also, I want to touch on what Daniel said in his post-race press conference. To me, the biggest thing that stood out to me was the fact that he wasn't necessarily satisfied with this win either.
Yeah.
He went on record of saying, this is a great win, great confidence, great team booster, but he doesn't want to stop there. He doesn't want people to be surprised when he does win races. And that mentality, to me, goes a long way, at least the way I look at his situation right now. And, Trackhouse says they want to keep him on the team, but obviously, like you guys mentioned, SVG, Zane Smith, the charters and the cars are piling up for them.
Yeah.
Can they be a 4-car team? And I think if Suarez continues to grow and perform consistently this season, he can do so, and he definitely has the right mentality, saying he wants to continue to win races. He's not satisfied with just one win. He's probably in the playoffs, yes, but if he can make it multiple rounds and ultimately maybe like a round of 8 guy, I think then he really gets off the hot seat and confirms his future with Trackhouse.
Yeah, I mean, every year in the playoffs, you have the guys who can win the title. You have the guys who you think can win the title. There's always one or two that it's like, this guy, he's an afterthought. He's going to get bounced right away. I can see Suarez's motivation to not have him be one of those guys. And, you mentioned the post-race press conferences. Justin Marks went on record to say, hey, we like Daniel. We haven't thought about getting rid of him necessarily. He's one of our guys. We want him to be a Trackhouse guy. But I don't know how much truth there is behind that. Zane Smith has gone out. He's done well in the Truck Series. He's in Cup. If he performs well, if Shane Van Gisbergen continues to look at least competitive on ovals, maybe rips out a couple of road course wins, maybe there's just not enough room there for Suarez. Charters are hella expensive, as we've seen. When a guy like Dale Earnhardt Jr. can't or won't get into Cup racing because of the charter price, we got something valuable here. So, Seth, obviously, we talk a lot of NFL on this site and all the other team sports. Obviously, the teams are a little bit differently organized in NASCAR, but you see a lot of trades. You see a lot of players go somewhere for particular assets, whether it be a prospect or an even player trade in that case, or things like that. This is something you don't really see in NASCAR, but I think this could be really interesting for a guy like Daniel Suarez, because you have obviously limited number of full-time cars there. When these prospects, Zane Smith and SVG, move forward, they need the Cup rides. Could you then grab a hot Toyota prospect or hot Ford prospect or even a different Chevy prospect, pull them into your pipeline by moving Suarez to an open Cup seat? I feel like it could be something interesting to watch down the road. Trackhouse continues to build their future. They get another manufacturer prospect. An open Cup ride gets a pretty good driver in Daniel Suarez, who can bring your team some value. I don't think it's not quite as unfathomable as we've seen. If anybody's going to go out there and do unfathomable things, I would say it's Trackhouse.
Yeah, Justin Marks, a little bit of a fucking wild card. I think we know that, folks.